Just a So we are in the first hacker house, Brazilian hacker house, Starknet Brazilian hacker house, and we would love to know about you because you are, uh, like you have your own journey, and if you can share with us what your journey was, so we feel inspired. Maybe you want to drop college, maybe we want to start college and do both. So I don't know how you're managing all of that, and if you can share how you started, how you got to where you are. And then also, we don't know what Herodotus is, like most of us don't know. So if you can also tell us as a use case, what can we actually do with ZK? And yeah, so
Um,
love to hear that. But if you have questions for us, it's also welcome.
okay, so I'll just like start by casually like saying how like I started this like cryptos and like developer journey in general first. I was like started okay, start from that. I first wanted to like make a like very cool product, but at the time I didn't know like how to code at all. So I started like coding from the front end. Like it was like 2020-ish. And then like I got to like many different domains, and then like randomly figure out there's a blockchain, and I just like very fascinated about this like technology itself. But at the time I was just stay in the Korea, like which is it has a like slightly different like market, and then like people are like little bit like close community. So I try my best to like build the companies or like communities out there like at 21. And I ended up like make a conclusion that I want to like explore the world more. So that's the how my more like Starknet related journey begins, I would like to say. It was like early 2022. I started by because I had no idea about like how the world like or the hackathons, those kind of things are look like at the time, because I literally haven't go outside of Korea before like early 2020. And like I haven't used the English much at all. Like so I just like start by like go to the Singapore hackathon first, and then like some Malaysia hackathon, like Lisbon hackathon, like Tokyo hackathon. More like I went through the um East Global ones mostly. But like I also been to like another hackathons. And while I'm literally at the time I was like so obsessed with I want to like find some way to like I can figure out the way of like what is the technology that at the time people are very interested in, and what can I be enjoy at those kind of like exploration. And while I was doing the like hackathons, I met the Herodotus, like because this is like every time I do some hackathon, I try my best to like make some like kind of creative ideas around like ZK, ended up like ZK and like application kind of stuff. And I shared how I shared my ideas, and like I shared my experience on the social media at the time, like Twitter. And I made a connection at the one event, and I go to like another event like right after, and I repeat and repeat like for like 6 months. Usually I was like just moving around like hacker house and then like hackathons, and I was like at the time unemployed, so I was like earn money from the hackathon to go to the another country, something like this. As the reason why I
To
yeah
survive until the next hackathon, right? That's hard.
what
Get the money to survive until the next
yeah
hackathon. Oh
yeah
yeah.
at the time like I quit my job because I want to find a way in the more like broader like world. So I quit my job. I don't have like any income, and I don't like I'm not sure like there's like lots of risk out there, but I just want to like do my best until I can. And because like the usually hackathon they support some money like for if you win. So I just like try this way because that's the only way that I can try. And then it somehow worked because I noticed that like every like small event every like hackathons, every idea development, and then like connections that I met in every events and hacker house make a like more big connection, and every time again, and I got to like know more about those kind of stuff. And by the time I also joined the Herodotus, which is I will explain about my company, like what we are doing like in later phase. But yeah, this is pretty much how I spent like for 6 months during like last year until summer. But like in the middle of the summer, I realized that because I mentioned that I didn't have much of the technical background at the time, but I was very into like Starknet like technology at the time. Like mostly people were like coding with Cairo, and then like people are moving the syntax with the Rust, and most of the infrastructure and open source like projects are made up with the Rust language. And then I was only had the like knowledge about the TypeScript. So like since like last year summertime, I just quit doing all the hackathons or like traveling stuff, and I just like stay in my home and just like try to learn the Rust and the ZK, and like from the including the CS fundamentals. And I just how I did is like very first time I tried to contribute the open source project, because those kind of like small motivations or goal to like I want to contribute on these projects makes me kind of force myself to learn about the relevant technologies and the language itself in more faster way. So even though I didn't have, I feel really challenging about like learning those kind of stuff and then contributing to it. But if I set a like strict goal, hey, I want to like really contribute to this project because this project is like really meaningful and I want to be like part of the contribution. So I learned relevant stuff and I move on to the other project, learn relevant stuff. And this is like kind of like a very first time how I got to the some kind of like stage, like very early stage, like while doing the open source contribution, like repeat and repeat again. And also like at some point I noticed that this is pretty limited growth, because at some point you really need to like stick into like one concept and just grind, like just like fill out the fundamentals, all of this stuff. Because if it's more like I figure out, sorry, like I'm a little bit like not good at talking, but
It's great. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm just like trying to like share what I did and then what I feel. And yeah, so yeah, thank you. So I would say more like I did very early stage, more like top down approach, that I set a goal in more high level and more like latest technology stuff, and I try to learn like in the bottom direction, like from the motivation that I set as a goal. But this need to be mixed with the bottom up approach. At least this is what I find out for myself. So that's the reason why I actually go back to university like last year, like September. The reason why is like my goal, like my motivation is more like I want to build a very like I want to build a very meaningful product, but the meaningful product that I'm feel find out more enjoyable is about around the infrastructure level, or like design the pretty like creative like software like structure and those kind of stuff. If I really want to like do it, then I need some strong fundamentals about like from the CS, to be honest. Like so that's why I like start from the last year, like September. I did the work because that helps me around keep doing the top down approach for the learning. And I also like continue my university at the time that before I took a gap year. I just like go back to university to do some like CS basics, and I just mix those two. And then yeah, it's kind of like things turn out pretty well at this moment, because um what I'm right now like focusing on is doing the like data processor in Herodotus. And this project is highly intensely combined with the cryptographic, including like ZK knowledge. and also the like infrastructure and engineering side of like knowledge should be combined. And also this project is not about like replicating the current like design that other people had. It's more like we have to like do the research at the same time while pushing the product. So yeah, I find it enjoyable while doing this work right now. And um yeah. So yes, yeah, sorry if I like skip something or like like if it's not like connecting, so like feel free to ask me your questions. Or yeah.
I have one question. I remember when we met, you were a influencer. Like you were a big uh, you public person on Twitter because of so my question is how do you do it? How did you like create your own community in Korea, and how did you become a famous person on Twitter, and why did you do it? Because I think it was also strategic, right? Because with that you could get more people supporting your projects and all of that. So if you can also share more about that.
Okay. Okay, so like very first time, I haven't started using the Twitter before like crypto. So like um I don't know like what's the like way to connect with the people in this industry at the very first time. And I like figure out people are doing it, so I like try and experiment it. And I noticed that this social media at the time, especially during the like bear market season, is a really like good way to make a connection around people who have a similar interest, or like similar who can able to understand my like new idea suggestions, etc. And especially at the time, because I was traveling a lot, I can connect with them in online, and I can like reconnect them with the offline, and I can just like mix all of this together. And I just like to like share my ideas and what I learned, and what I experiment, what people have I connected with. I just like to like share all of kind of like stuff in the Twitter at that moment, because that helps me like mm, more motivated to push myself, because I can feel like, oh, this um like if I share one idea, then I can get like 10 feedbacks from it. Like I can get like 10 feedbacks from the short term, or like in the very long term, while like some people like see my tweet, and then like they notice me, and then like we can talk about this idea in the like future, in the next event, something like this. So yeah, that's the thing that I find it pretty useful. And that's why I did it at the time. But yeah.
Thank you, P. I think it's fantastic. I mean, the journey that you're in, starting with the decision of just going for the hackathons and taking advantage of that opportunity. Will you share a little bit more about how to better use our time during a hackathon, a hacker house? We are here in a hacker house in Brazil, but we are all hoping to go to Brussels. Are you going to be there?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
So be your advice for us in that hackathon and the events there, how to better use our time, how to better connect with people, how to better enjoy the time there, and use it as you have been using it for your career.
Okay, sure. Like for I think the very helpful mindset that I had during the travels, especially during that intense like event, is something like I can learn I mean, because like usually those kind of like places, there's a lots of people who have a different backgrounds are gathered. Like some people like already have finished the PhD, some people have a family, some people just started their career. Like I find it this opportunity is very rare in terms of like to meet in the like daily normal life. So I try to like talk with everyone what they're doing, what how is their like story, how is their journey, like just like how I share those kind of this kind of thing to you guys right now. Just ask those kind of questions to the people, and if something like kind of if you find that person like more interested, then you can like connect and you can share your ideas like later on, like after the hackathon, like Hacker House, or like sometimes you can meet your friend, or like even like sometimes you can meet your like potential like co-founders of like like this is the thing that I like find out from the other people. But yeah, I think like during even I like to just connect and talk with the people, and at the same time it's good to have a at least one idea that you're keep pushing on, like keep pushing to build on, so that you can when someone asks about you, what are you like plan to build this or build today, then you can like talk about this idea more. And usually it's helpful for to choose the idea to build that is relevant for like um what you're like really interested in, like so that you can talk about like more relevant and deep stuff that you're like currently working on, like not just a temporary project. um
That's great advice, Pia. I am from Costa Rica. I'm married with a Brazilian. That's why I'm here too. Half my heart is Brazilian, but I'm from Costa Rica, and in my country, people tend to be very shy with ideas. Very kind of, oh no, I'm not going to say this because they're going to say think that I'm bragging or that. And I'm always amazed of also Americans, for example. They're always pushing their ideas to you, right? Always say, I'm building this other thing, and we need to do that more, share our ideas. Just because by sharing what you're doing or what you want to do, it may be that this person has some insight, has some experience, some contact that they can share with you. So this is also for the Brazilians, because I know people here sometimes is very shy to sharing their ideas. Thank you for that advice, because it's important, really important to put our ideas out there without worry about the result.
yeah, it's a fun experience. Yeah.
And you have been part of many hackathons. You have tried many times. How about how is it for you when you apply for something and you don't get it? How do you keep going? How do you keep the motivation there? Because you have done a lot of tries and like and I know you won a lot of the hackathons, and then but I also imagine you didn't win all of them. So how was it for you to deal with all of that and keep going and keep pushing, and then eventually deciding, yes, I want to study the fundamentals and keep working? And how do you keep that?
um maybe like for me, I had a like purpose for joining those hackathon stuff, because like very first time I want to, yeah, the motivation was keep same. I just want to like really figure out what I am interested in learning it, what I'm really curious about, like be good at it. So in this domain, because like this domain was like new for me. So hackathon and meeting a lot of people and sharing ideas makes me figure out, oh, I'm the person like who are not interested in DeFi much. Like I'm the person like who are more interested in like infrastructure much. Oh, okay, I see it. So even, and the good part about like hackathon and Hacker House is like, even though I don't find much interested in actual like doing it, but I can like still hear a people who are like very passionate about that thing, so that I can like learn from that, like while talking it. At the same time, I can like just focus more, more put my time on learning something that I'm really want to be good at it. So if you just think about it, then you can just enjoy the journey, like you can just enjoy the like just building the project itself, the process, as a very fun thing, because that helps you to like figure out which is the thing that you're really interested in, and at the same time you can like interact with the people. So so for me, like, yeah, TLDR, like the result of the hackathon was not that important, to be honest.
It's so nice to hear. Because we all applied for a for the Hacker House in Brussels. Maybe not everybody gets there, but so maybe we can follow your advice and care more about what we are doing and just for the learning process more than the result. Of course, we aim for the win, but we keep going even if it doesn't work, right?
And also like because recently I had the judge in the ZK hack, and what I like figure out is like especially the hackathon is also like competition, right? So like maybe the result is maybe very tricky to like select which one should be the winner, or like which one should be not. So like sometimes even though like the project is not inside the winner, if you just like share your idea itself, then maybe like there's someone that or find your idea really interested, or like maybe there's someone who are already like trying to solve that challenge by their own selves, and then like they notice that you are also doing it, then you can share it, is regardless of the result of the hackathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. There are many goals. One, I mean, you said one goal is to win and get the money for the next one.
Yeah.
But I love the other goals too, like learning, finding your tribe, finding people that is working on the same topic, enriching your idea. Sounds like fantastic way to improve.
Yeah. Did it help you get to Herodotus? How did you find Herodotus?
This is also I was just sharing the projects that I built during the hackathon, and then naturally I got some connection around ZK, because like at the time, very first time, I was mostly like playing around with ZK related like projects, and then yeah, with the connection, like just approach with the Twitter, and then like we just like met at another event, and then yeah, this is the way that I found. But like the thing that I joined Herodotus was like really a luck at the time, because it was really early. So yeah, I think it's a luck. Like yeah, I'm very grateful to like met people like some random route, even though I share the ideas, but yeah.
They say Lady Luck finds those who tries. So I think it may be luck, but also you did a lot of work there. And
What?
Did you hear me? No.
Pardon? Like,
okay. No, I just said that Lady Luck finds those who tries. So I think you have been trying a lot, and you did a lot of work as well. You didn't just got lucky with with her.
yeah, actually I just remember at the time, because I liked enjoying participating in the hackathon and sharing the projects. So like at the time, the Herodotus is basically doing the storage proof, and the storage proof is a technology, and is very like low level technology, which means that we need some use case to like showcase to other people to like make this technology more useful. And at the time, they figure out that I'm very good at making the like ZK or like low level like technology stuff into some high level application, and then showcased in the hackathon. So they thought like I can do with the storage proof. But like, and then I ended up trying to make a like high level application, and I like want to understand it more and more and more, like go to the like low level. And then yeah, now I now I am not doing the application side much, but yeah, it was I can also like talk about like what is the Herodotus and what we are doing right now also.
Yeah, please.
Oh, okay. Okay. So okay, so basically like Herodotus is more like we are trying to make the data accessibility through the Ethereum more easily. So the problem that we figure out is recently the L2s, L3 app chains, like those kind of technical like designs makes pretty much Ethereum into very much like like divide. Like you cannot access the like data on top of the one L2 to another L2. You cannot easily like send the transaction like among like different L2s, even though they all like somehow commit on the L1, right? So what our idea is, there is a technology of like storage proof. Actually, this is a like state proof kind of stuff, because Ethereum is storing all the data inside the Merkle-Patricia tree, and because the Merkle-Patricia tree itself have a like cryptographic commitment that we can like export out about, is this data is actually stored in this data structure or not. So in that case, we could actually get the data like existence from one chain, one L2 chain that commits to that Ethereum like data structure to the another L2 chain, just by porting the cryptographic commitment itself. So like you can just verify the proof of another L2 in one L2. You can just verify the proof of the ZK sync on the Starknet with the Merkle-Patricia tree proof, just to simply like give a high level overview. And then you can like get the valid data you can get the valid data that exists inside all the data structure like MPT on the Ethereum itself. So like the MPT contains the like block header, which is inside there's like account and like storage. So you can basically access the any data that already exists in this MPT structure.
Do you maybe have some graphs? Maybe you can do you all know what a Merkle-Patricia tree is? More or less, yes. Maybe you can. I don't know if you have like graphic. Maybe it's easier for us to understand with visual.
Should I have a? Maybe I can share some the. I can share the talk that I did.
I can see something. What is it between a Merkle tree and a Patricia Merkle tree?
Merkle tree is like just pretty much like two elements that makes a like tree. Merkle-Patricia tree, that they have like more of the node, different type of node, which is like branch node or like edge node, and those kind of like nodes structure make sometimes like there's not only for the like one root node to contain like two element node, they can be like three. So this is the different data structure that Ethereum is particularly using it. And again, I can just like briefly overview about this, because what I'm focusing on is like data processor actually. So okay, maybe I hope this is a high level overview. just introduction, because I didn't expect to like do the technical call in this time. So
sorry, such a surprise.
Is he going to ask, please?
So the idea is basically that we can use the Cairo VM itself as a data processor, basically. So before, what we mean by okay, so actually this one doesn't contain the match of the information. Okay, just to be simply like think of it, the storage proof is something like we can make a Merkle proof of some element, and which is Merkle proof is just a like Merkle path of this tree. So that if I only like know, even if I assume that I know the valid root, then I can know that valid element is exist in the tree. So it's more like you don't need to like post all the data of this like 4 element. You just need to like post the one root and then like one path, then you can find out the element itself. Okay, okay, so this is basically the idea of a like storage proof, so that we don't need to like to access the one element in the tree, which is, for example, the account balance. Like this is a maybe this one is an account balance, this one is account knowns, like something like this, and we don't need to like get the older element from this tree to when we want to access through the on-chain, because accessing this whole data through the on-chain and make a Merkle Patricia tree is like super expensive. So we just want to like pass this root instead of like whole tree. This is the motivation of why we are doing it. So the idea that we have is more like we just want to like use this Cairo like program to verify the like Merkle Patricia tree proof that we just mentioned, so that we can retrieve the valid data of the any kind of data that committed to the Ethereum through the Cairo program like validation to access the valid data on the on-chain. So we can actually this compared to the original API that we did, which is we verify this like MPT proof on the on-chain contract. We make a like MPT structure of the Solidity smart contract and we verify at the on-chain smart contract. But this approach is more like we make a like Cairo program and verify this MPT structure or like MMR structure, like just forget about the data structure like in detail. We just store some like tree structure about the data of the header account storage, and we verify it on via Cairo program, not the on-chain itself. And what is important about the Cairo program is we don't use this Cairo program in the on-chain one, which is like we don't use the Cairo contract. We're using the Cairo program, which is off-chain, just a Cairo VM. So in that way, we can handle the more large amount of data at one time. It can be a little bit slower than the API. So yeah, I can say that what we are doing is trying to access the valid data that is committed on the Ethereum in anywhere, any of the origin chain and any of the destination chain. You can think of it like the data bridge, but we don't put the trust like third party that you need to trust, because we are just passing the cryptographic commitment and you just verify it.
And you can pass the cryptographic commit without revealing what it is. You can just
because it's a commitment, but because it's a like hashed data.
Mm-hmm.
So because like to explain all of this is maybe like a little bit I need more time. So the overview is we just want to like access the data, and what I'm currently building on the Herodotus with the data processor is to leverage the Cairo program, the off-chain Cairo program, to handle this verification part in off-chain.
And Pia, thank you for the explanation. Even for me that I have no technical background or infra background, it was clear. I understood. Thank you so much. But you said that when you first came to the company, your goal was to actually apply this so people will understand how useful it is. Could you share with us one idea of how this could be used in a practical application?
Actually, like we are making a demo about the Rendao, which is like the Ethereum like wait. Actually, more simple like example is like I made some application that way before. It's like named Starknet. Maybe this is much easier one. Starknet. So I can share this one. Yeah, so it's more like we connect to the Starknet like wallet and Ethereum wallet, and basically what we're doing is we select the Everai NFT, the L1, because at the time the Everai was only exist on the Ethereum, like not the Starknet, and we select which NFT to basically get the proof of the ownership, and then we generate this proof of ownership, and meaning that this proof of ownership is via the storage proof that I just mentioned, because you can verify this if this account have this NFT in this block number. So we make a proof, and now we get a proof, and we pass this proof on the Starknet, and we verify this proof, and then we claim the same NFT on the Starknet. This is the idea, that maybe the one simple use case that we have.
So basically, to prove ownership of something in one network, in one for example, in Ethereum, then bring this to an L1 or an L2, and prove that I own that in the basically. Right?
Yeah.
So it could be useful for to keep track of all my history on Web3, not only on one chain, basically.
Yeah, there's also the doable like application side, because you can get the data, and you can basically get any kind of data that written inside the blockchain, like not the off-chain side, like written inside the blockchain. You can make a proof of any kind of element from it, because.
And does it work with private blockchains as well?
If they have a the data structure of the MPT, and also like in our case, like storage proof is a technology, and Herodotus is a company that leveraging the storage proof technology to adjust to the chains that on top of Ethereum. So I guess like if you're meaning by the Herodotus about the private network, then no, because we are only supporting the network that is committing to the Ethereum.
But we could use the same logic with other blockchains. For example, because I previously created a project called Cambiatus, and is built on EOS.io, right? It was built back in 2018, and at the moment we choose to use EOS. And we were wondering if we could prove the thing that happened there and bring that to Starknet. So it looks like the thing that you're doing for Ethereum is something that maybe could be done to bring the information from EOS. So our users that are using Starknet could prove that they already completed this and this and these tasks on Cambiatus, and bring that into Ethereum to maybe give them some reward or something like that. I don't know, it makes sense.
I believe the EOS is another L1, right? So it have a different consensus, I believe. If the case to make a 100% validity, then you also need to prove the state proof, but also need to prove the consensus proof on top. So there will be it depends on your how much do you want to make sure about data validity, because in our solution we want to make sure about 100% validity of the data. So that's why we targeting for the Ethereum side first. But maybe in your case, if the chain is committing to the Ethereum, or if you also can prove the consensus on top, then you can make sure about this same validity. But yeah.
Thank you. Good insights. Anyone else?
Questions?
We could also, I don't know how much time do we have. We could also share some of the ideas, some of the project ideas. Yeah.
Oh, hi, I'm Lucas. I'm trying to understand your project. So in the verification part, the algorithm to verify and generate the proof is on-chain or off-chain?
Which proof?
The storage proof algorithm.
Storage proof?
Yes.
To generate the like storage proof itself is
Yeah.
basically to generate the storage proof is on chain in the case of the normal API we are already supporting, but with the data processor that I'm now building it with some of the team member is off chain. So
Okay.
yeah, so to generate the proof and verify the like storage proof on chain can be very expensive. So that's why we are trying to build another solution for large amount of data. Like for example, with the data processor approach that I have, is we can literally like prove for like 10K block proof at the same time, because this is the off-chain proof of the Stark proof.
Okay. Sure. I think I kind of understand now. It's somehow like what Starknet is doing with the Starks, ZK Starks, or not, because
Basically,
because they also verify generate the proof off chain, and after that they had a contract that's called I think Starknet core contract that verifies the proof on chain. It's somehow like that, some way like that.
exactly the backend program that is generating a proof and send this proof to the Ethereum L1 verifier contract is called Sharp, and we are leveraging this Sharp in our data processor product.
Okay.
We are
No,
doing
now
same thing.
Sure. Thank you.
We're doing the same thing, but the proof that we want to generate from this Sharp is Ethereum's state proof.
Okay, thank you so much.
No, I just will say thank you, Bia. I will. At that moment, I still learning a lot, and her story is really good. And thank you for sharing with us. Yeah, that's it. Because
Thank
my
you a lot.
background, like, oh, you're welcome. My background is like it's law and Web3, but in this hacker house, I still learning a lot, and I still so excited and happy. Yeah, it's very big challenge here. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you want to share something?
Okay, I have a question. Hey, Peter, I'm Miller. I don't know if same question of the Lucas, but do you think that technology can be adopted to prove some stuff of the Web 2 in the Web 3? You can use this technology to prove some stuff of the Web 2 in the Web 3. Is that possible?
So I believe if you mean by like so I believe I'm not sure like what you mean by Web 2, but basically the Cairo VM is proving the program's execution. So that's why it is a ZK VM. So and the program itself doesn't necessarily like have to connect with the on-chain or like smart contract or blockchain. It can be like basically anything else. It's just generating the Stark proof. So yeah, I can say yes. So like only thing that we are like using the connection of the Web3 part is the verifier that verifies this Stark proof is deployed on Ethereum L1 contract so that we can access the data in on-chain. This is the flow that we are leveraging it. But just if you just look at the zk Stark itself, then it does not connect. It does not necessarily have to use the blockchain data or something like at all. You can basically program like whatever.
Okay, I get it. Where we can find out some documents about the Herodotus project?
Maybe the best way would be go to the herodotus.dev, the Patty, like maybe I can share on the chat first.
Can I add you to our Telegram group? Would you?
Yeah.
Okay. It's mostly in Portuguese, but
I know the obrigado.
nice. You are in the Telegram.
Yeah, I believe the best way would be go to the document. Or I can share the. Yeah, I can share it on the Telegram chat later, but I will share about the documentation and the dashboard page that you can maybe play around with our API. So, yeah, I think this two would be a good start.
Great, thanks for the answers.
And on that, may I ask you, how do you think we can contribute to Herodotus? How does it work? With like, should we, because we are creating projects, should we try and consider do apply something on Herodotus? What can we do?
So actually, there's a Starknet like hackathon, like I believe is global one, like that, doing the offline online, and there's a Herodotus track, and we didn't like announce the very detailed like judgments yet, but will be soon, like in early next week. So yeah, free to like take a look at the documentations and make a project on top of the Herodotus. Or if you're interested in like more low level stuff, then I believe we have a like our own verifier that deployed on the Starknet contract. The what is Starknet is using as a verifier is deployed on Ethereum contract, the Solidity contract, but we made our own like verifier that can verify the Stark proof, but we deployed on the Starknet, like made up with the Cairo. So if you're interested in like low level and cryptography stuff, like please take a look at the maybe source code, or yeah, there will be. I think Herodotus is one of the good team to learn about cryptography stuff in the, especially around the Stark. So
And do we need a cryptographic background to start, or can we try to learn by ourselves?
I think the Starkwares like Stark 101 would be the good start for learning the ZK Stark. And about the Cairo VM itself, is the Cairo VM paper is like a best one. And I'm still looking at it like the paper, but yeah, and then there's a like Cairo VM, there's a lot of like implementation around like many different languages, like Rust, Go, like TypeScript, like it's like Google App Script, like Zeek. So yeah, free to like take a look at the language that you guys like prefer. And yeah, I think if you're interested in like the Cairo VM also, then we like Herodotus can be also some part that the project can be interested, because the data processor, the version 2 is literally we're trying to modify the VM and to add the like custom Cisco around it. And yeah, so this is the one thing that I can say.
Fantastic. And another question. You shared with us that example, the NFT, bringing the NFTs from Ethereum to Starknet. That's fantastic. Is there any other application that you would like to see being built using this technology?
I think there's a like I'm not very familiar. I'm not much familiar with the DeFi, but I can imagine that there can be a lot of like DeFi application can be built on top of the source proof, so that you can leverage the like multiple like like different L2's liquidity in another L2, and then you can make some like DeFi protocol on top of using the Herodotus like storage proofs to connect the liquidity of the different blockchains, or so DeFi stuff I'm not familiar, but like there is a like good idea, like use case approach. We also have a like documentation that lists out some like possible use cases, and there is a like governance that you can actually vote via the storage proof on, like you verify that your asset on the Ethereum, and you can vote on the Starknet or something. We're actually like doing the partnership with the Snapshot X, which is the Starknet, the snapshot but deployed on the Starknet contract, and they're actually using our API to like do this voting use case. And and then I guess like pretty much like all the like optimism based rollups, and then EVM based rollups like ZK Sync, like optimism based Arbitrum, and then the Starknet, those L2 connection can be very useful in terms of like, I don't know, the landing bridges, or like gamings, or yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Any questions? No?
We are shy.
Okay, I have one question for you, Pia. When are you coming to Brazil and join a Starknet Brazilian Hacker House?
I really want to go to the like Brazil and also like South America, because I had never been to the South America like in my life. But yeah, I'm really looking into it, and when I go to the South America, then I'll definitely go to the Starknet Brazil. Like, yeah. So nice. The nature is like so nice. The thing that we heard.
Yeah, come to Brazil, not to Argentina.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just kidding.
We are better.
Okay.
Just quickly before I think we have some minutes left. Our project for the Hacker House here, and the one that we are applying with to the Hacker House in Brussels, is called Mycelia Stark, and the idea is it's more on the something new for us. It's more on the infra side. The idea is to connect GPUs, create a network of GPUs to process machine learning algorithms, and we were thinking that it could be also useful to process the CK proofs, right? So it could become a core piece of Starknet itself. So basically, and we would love to hear your reaction and your insights to that idea.
You mean that you want to prove the model computation on using the ZK proof? Is the thing that I understand correct?
No, I mean, what we are solving is for people that needs computational power to run to train their AI models. They need a lot of computational power, and we want to build a decentralized network of GPUs so they can run their models there and process them, right? That's it.
Okay. I think I had a like similar idea, but around a prover network. So I don't know like about the connection with this like GPU and machine learning like computation provider and the ZK proof, but what I was like thinking of the needs of those kind of like computation provider is about the prover network. So like maybe it's kind of like a similar like needs, like similar motivation maybe. So I'm just sharing, which is to run the like prover, like for example like Stark prover, like Stone, to run the Stone, you need a lot of like computation to run it. So it you cannot even like run on your like Mac laptop. You need to like have a somewhat different Spark with the probably like Linux. And the reason why like we're trying to like run this like Stone like by our own needs, but it was a bit difficult. So we ended up like, what if we have a just like P2P network that someone just like post a job that they want to like prove, and then anyone like listen to the network that can pick up the job that they need to be proved, and then they can run their own prover using their like machine. Basically, they're providing the computation, and then after they successfully prove, then they verify onto the verifier contract, and then the contract verifies the validity, and then how to say, like, withdraw the reward to the person like who successfully provide the computation. So maybe you can like do similar with the machine learning GPU like computation, I believe, with the proof that is this person actually
Running
run
it.
model
Yeah.
correctly, and then make a proof out of it, and then you verify it, and then you can claim, you can give the reward to the person who provide, like through
Okay.
the P2P network. So
Yeah, we were thinking exactly that. We were thinking exactly that, how to prove, I mean, using the CK proofs to actually prove that the work was done correctly, not tampered. So the user can be sure that the results are okay, and then liberate the yeah.
you
Makes
can
sense.
take a look at the Giza if you're like thinking on like building on top of the Starknet, because like basically Giza is like have a like Cairo program about machine learning, so that you can, when you run this like Giza model that written in Cairo, then you can just naturally like validate the execution of the model, so you can make sure this model's validity, and you can like generate the proof out of it. So yeah, and actually the Giza is also like collaborating with us with the data processor part, because like their model program, like it can be trained with the like on-chain data, but they want to like make sure of this like on-chain data that feed inside the model to be valid, not just like from the RPC provider. So we give the data using the storage proof, and we make sure that this data on-chain Ethereum data is actually valid, Ethereum or like other L2 data is actually valid, and then we feed to the Giza model on the Cairo program. So yeah, just one idea.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
I can talk. So, hi again, Lucas here. Firstly, congrats for our project, because this is a unique idea. The first time that I ever seen something like that. And our project is about, we call it metronome. It's like we are trying to build a huge trading system as Pando is for Ethereum to Starknet. So as you talked about your project, I was thinking if we could like utilize it to kind of bring assets from the Ethereum EVMs and other chains to make some pools of liquidity and stake, so you can tokenize the yields with it. So if you can talk about that, if it's possible already or not.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much possible. You can generate the like storage proof of the Ethereum and then like EVM chains asset data. Basically, like all the meaning by pool will be some like solidity contract and mapping by the user account, and then the staked amount of like the money that person like staked. So we can generate the proof of this like specific data, and then verify it on the Starknet, and you can make sure that this person have this amount of liquidity, and then you can do some your logic.
Sure. That will be that will facilitate a lot our process probably. It will be good.
And on top of that, how could that be gained? I mean, how could users negatively take advantage of that in some way? How can that be hacked? Any risks?
Our solution is like the meaning by I first mentioned about like 100% validity is because we want to make sure every step of the data like delivery, we make sure about this validity using the cryptographic commitment. And this part, if you just trust this like on-chain, like blockchain like security, if you trust the Ethereum security, then you can trust our solution, because our solution is basically giving the security as the same amount of like Ethereum like security. Because, and that's why our security, our product can be more expensive or like more slower than the just RPC provider call. But that RPC provider call, if you call some data using the Alchemy or like Infra, those kind of like HTTP request, then basically what they're like providing is they have a like database, centralized database, and they stack the data of the blockchain inside their centralized database, and you cannot make sure if this data is actually correct or not, right? So our solution is more like, in each step of the data provide, we make sure this data is indeed indeed safe from the without any usage of the like trusted party in the middle. Basically, we provide the data that is like already finalized.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if nobody has any other questions, do you have a final comment or advice or the final words for the call?
And also as a woman in tech, because as you can see here, we are 20 people, only 2 women. Very powerful ones, but only 2.
Yeah.
Maybe like maybe you guys have a like different background and like different like step of the journey of this hackathon and or like crypto in general. I just I just think that this domain is really interesting. Like there's a lot of like interesting design or proposals or like discussions are happening like every day, to be honest. And I'm just like feeling grateful about get to know this domain and then learn from like many interesting people. And yeah, I hope you guys also enjoy this journey. Yeah, maybe that's the one comment that I have. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Patty, also.
Thank you for coming, Pia. It was great. Well, see you soon in Brussels and maybe later in Brazil then.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
See you, guys.
Bye.
See you.